So I've used Valhalla FutureVerb on thousands of mixes over the years, and they just came out with this new plugin, Valhalla FutureVerb. So I want to show you what it sounds like and give you my review of it and tell you if I think it's worth you spending your money on it or not. So this plugin is part normal delay. Like this is just a normal 8th note dotted delay. But this button down here, you can choose whether the delay feeds into the reverb or the reverb feeds into the delay. So if I click this button, the reverb starts feeding into the delay. So you can get some really cool textures that way. But I think where this plugin really shines is all the different delay modes down here, and then the spread knob too. So let's change the timing of this here, and I'm gonna start this reverse delay. And it's cool, you have control over if the left and right channel are detuned. And then once I turn up the spread knob, it's gonna introduce additional delays that are an octave up. So if I combine that with a huge reverb, and then I can introduce some chords. That texture sounds so nice. So this thing makes it really easy to create these huge atmospheric background textures to fill out your track. And if you watch my channel, you know I almost never do plugin reviews. This is not sponsored at all. Like, I think most plugins are actually a distraction away from what's actually important, like good songwriting. Like, there are hundreds of different compressors out there, but I think you only really need one or two really good compressors. So everyone has reverb and delays, and this plugin is kind of a reverb and delay in one plugin. So where does this thing really fit in? So let's use a different arpeggio now. And I think what this plugin is really good at is just instantly creating these soundscapes for your track. Like, let's go to a preset. Let's mix this in. We just instantly get this nice atmosphere. If we bring the chords in, so before, if I wanted to do that, it would take me a bunch of different plugins and a lot more time than that to dial in. So this is really a time saver, but I don't think it's only good for these atmospheric sounds. I think where this plugin really shines are the different delay modes. Like, even if we just pick the standard tape delay, I think that tape saturation on this delay mode just sounds so nice. And then I love some of these other delay modes, like detune, lets you detune the left and right channels. Giving a really analog vibe. And then the spread knob introduces more delays. And then, like I showed before, depending what mode you're on, that spread knob could introduce delays that are an octave up. So like if we go to the sparkle mode, starts introducing those delays that are an octave above the normal delay. So this thing isn't only good for big atmospheres, like you can use it to make some cool, short, subtle delays too. Like, let's go to the detune mode, but make it really short. And then let's put like a short room reverb on here too. And then you can kind of detune this reverb, which introduces this really cool character. And it'd be hard to get that from a normal reverb or delay plugin. And it's cool because every time you come up with a new setting, you can just click this button to have the reverb feed into the echo instead and see what that sounds like. And that makes it really fun to mess around with because there's 12 different delay modes and 8 different reverb modes, so you can just switch this button back and forth and mess around with all the controls until you get some cool texture or character or whatever you're looking for your track. So what do I think is missing from this plugin, and is it worth the price? Well, one thing that I don't like about Valhalla's plugins is these EQ high cut and low cut filters. I wish you could change the slope on these, because by default, those knobs have a 6 decibel slope, which looks like this, which is a really slow way to roll off the low and high end, which sounds cleaner and more natural. But if you want to be able to change it and have steeper slopes, you just can't do that. The only workaround is to change the color to studio mode, which makes a hard cut at 600 hertz and one at 10,000 hertz, but you can't control where those cuts are. And the reverb section doesn't have as many advanced controls as a normal reverb. Like if we pull up Valhalla Vintage Verb, I use this damping section all the time. There's no pre-delay. I guess the difference is you could use this echo module as a pre-delay for the reverb, but when I just want a normal reverb, this plugin isn't gonna replace that for me. I'm still gonna use Valhalla Vintage Verb. This is really if I want some interesting texture on my reverb or delay, or if I wanna make those big atmospheric sounds really easily. So is this thing worth the price? Well, it's 50 bucks, and people aren't gonna like me for saying this, but I actually think it's underpriced. Like if you're someone that uses atmosphere in the background of your tracks all the time, this is gonna make it so much easier to add that atmosphere and those layers in the background of your track. Like, I think for me, this plugin is worth way over 50 bucks. Also, if you've been making music for over a year and your mixes still aren't really sounding good enough, I'm doing $50 off right now, my Mixing Academy, for Black Friday. So you can go check that out at bigzcourses.com. It's a totally brand new version of the course that I made. Everything is redone from scratch, all to help you make mixes that sound as good as your favorite artists. So check that out if you're interested. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.